theory is that the Jewish Defense League...
What? What?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Okay.
Oh,
Jewish-
there are cops coming up.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
The next theory is that the Jewish Defense League, an extremist pro-Israel group, killed Tupac. The FBI had files of alleged death threats on Tupac from the Jewish Defense League, which has been classified as a terrorist group by the FBI. Other than that, there's really not much to see here.
I mean, they did offer threats.
They did offer
They're
threats.
they're the only people who said, I'm gonna kill you.
You know what? You have a point. The last theory I'm gonna go over is pretty silly.
Aliens. Finally, I believe you. Yes, of course. Together, working at last.
Some believe that Tupac is in fact still alive and faked his own death. In 2015, some news outlets reported that a man named David Myers claimed he helped Tupac fake his death and that Suge Knight, among others, helped as well. However, this story seems to have originated from a fake news site, so take it with an enormous grain of salt. Some believe Tupac is alive and well in Cuba.
I want to believe that's the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think it's means so much more for like
Humanity?
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Everything would be better in the world if that were true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where many believe that the emergency room incident is a strong case for Gloria Ramirez being a victim of alien abduction.
Okay. Nope. You just shut your mouth. I'm
Here,
done.
what's the difference between this theory and the other three?
Because the other three are based on facts and some pretty plausible, like, shut up. I can't even, I thought you were like on the level on this one. The first three theories were so grounded in reality, and now you're just like, oh yeah, Bigfoot spooched on her chest.
UFO enthusiasts cite her unusual reaction with the emergency room staff as evidence of extraterrestrial meddling. Look, I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Can you say definitively this is not a possibility, that she wasn't abducted?
I definitively cannot.
It's a theory then.
Well, get into the theory.
That is it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Fuck you. That definitively did not happen. Because the theory then is just,
Maybe it was aliens.
maybe aliens, though.
Is that those lost in the Bermuda Triangle are actually now residents of the legendary lost civilization of Atlantis.
No, they're not. Nope.
Now, all the frustration I had in the first half of this is now equally composited on top of you.
Are they breathing underwater?
Atlantis was written about by Plato and was supposedly an ancient naval power, but according to legend, the entire kingdom disappeared into the sea in just one day. In the 1970s, a writer named Charles Berlitz hypothesized that the entire city of Atlantis was actually a victim of the Bermuda Triangle, and now resides and thrives under the sea within the triangle's bounds. Berlitz theorized that the technology and weaponry of Atlantis was so advanced that it continues to contribute to the mysterious sinking of ships and planes. Some believe that which is lost in the Bermuda Triangle continues to exist in Atlantis beneath the sea. I can see your face and it's just fuming and getting
this is absurd.
The first theory is ridiculous. I'm just gonna say that right out. It's ridiculous.
Never heard you just
I know,
flat out.
for me to say it's ridiculous.
This is a first.
Detective Burgess received a letter addressed to the chief of detectives that said, quote, "A ball of fire came through the open window and hit her. I seen it happen." End quote.
I don't trust anyone who says, I seen it happen. That sounds like a country bumpkin if I've ever heard one. I seen it.
I seen it happen.
I
while
seen
playing
it with my
banjo.
own 2 eyes.
There's something we can agree on. I don't think this is a credible
Ike,
story.
who believes that world leaders, including Queen Elizabeth, President Barack Obama, and the Clintons are actually shape-shifting lizards.
So this is the one that you're really into? You believe this one?
I never said that. I just said there's other ones.
These lizard elite are behind the Freemasons and the Illuminati. The lizard race feeds off the human race and occasionally demands human sacrifices. In fact, the same 2013 national poll I mentioned earlier revealed that 4% of voters polled believe that, quote, lizard people control our societies.
4% of voters.
That's actually a pretty good amount of people that believe they're shape-shifting lizards at the center of everything.
Is there an origin story for these lizard people?
I'm sure there is. I figured, you know what?
Given the context of his bizarre letter, some believe the Axeman to be a supernatural figure that could slip through tiny entranceways and become the large man that witnesses describe the killer to be.
No.
It's just a theory.
It's dumb. He shrunk down like a little mouse? Is that what you're saying? He's
what
like
point did I
Ant-Man?
ever-
He's like, now I'm big, time to die.
At what
To our fourth theory, that the colonists' disappearance was an instance of mass abduction by aliens. Some believe aliens would explain why the colonists' bodies were never discovered. And if Croatoan was in fact a clue to where they were going, then why did the colonists not offer any other substantial clues, such as a note or a map? Perhaps because they left the island in haste and not on their own volition. And while I'm going off the deep end, let me end this theory with one last point. What if the hidden symbol on the map is not in fact a fort, but rather a craft to signify a landing spot? Obviously, if this were true, it would absolutely be something that would be hidden.
Mass abduction. Maybe they all lined up in a row and just got in the tractor beam one at a time.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the bank and it's one of those little chutes. It's just people lining up to get in that
just going to
pneumatic
that-
tube.
Just sucked up into the tube. Yeah.
Thunk, thunk.
That's a knowledge bomb right there.
No, that's not a knowledge bomb.
I just did a airstrike, I did a flyover, you're down there going, you really walked into the ocean, and I dropped a bomb right on top of your big stupid head.
I don't think
and
that's
now
what happened. I think
you're startled by the truth. You're
I
dazed.
think you have
There's-
altitude sickness.
There's stars away from around your eyes.
There's no stars here. I think you're insane.
No. Don't you think that's pretty cool? That could in fact be a sign, like a crop circle?
Yeah, but again, if you're already stressed out that these people wrote on a tree something without any context, why is he not going to write on the map, hey, we saw something weird here, instead of just putting a strange little symbol?
Because maybe they assimilated with the alien culture and it's much better there.
Nope.
They're on the prairies and fields of alien landscape, eating little alien berries, eating alien popcorn with half alien kids and half human.
You're hearing yourself saying these things right now. You're committing to this. This is what you want to be known as.
Shockingly, aliens is not the most outlandish theory.
Wait, hang on. It didn't even occur. I didn't even hear the words that you were saying when you said brings us to our next theory, because I thought that was as dumb as it was going to get.
I told you, you have no idea where this is going.
And with that, we have our fifth theory, that the lost colony of Roanoke disappeared due to a zombie plague.
What do you
Let me hear me out. I got some stuff here.
read it?
A researcher named Andre Freeman from the Zombie Research Society believes zombies would explain the swift disappearance. Quote, a sudden undead plague sweeping through the unprepared colony would quickly become a horrific, violent feast, leaving not a single man, woman, or child alive. End quote. Roanoke was, after all, an island, so it would conceivably contain the infection to the confines of the shoreline. Before you tune out, Harvard archaeologist Lawrence Steger claims he actually discovered evidence that would suggest mass cannibalism on Roanoke. Granted, Roanoke was experiencing the most extreme drought in the area in 800 years. So some would say this evidence points to the fact that colonists turned to plain old cannibalism rather than The Walking Dead.
You think that's maybe more likely?
Maybe. What if this is the only case of zombies ever, and because it was on an island, it was contained, so therefore it would never happen again?
What if it's not? There's nothing.
There was that bath salts thing where someone thought that guy was a zombie.
He was alive.
Yeah,
he had a beating heart.
Yeah, they were popping him with bullets, and he was just like taking them.
Because he was on drugs,
He
Ryan.
was getting peppered. He was like
Examiner Remington Bristow, who investigated the case for over 36 years. Bristow gathered newspaper clippings of the boy and spent thousands of dollars of his own money and countless hours trying to identify the boy. He traveled all the way to Arizona and Texas for leads. Bristow even consulted with a psychic who held staples from the bassinet box, hoping he or she could gather some clues. Bristow went even as far as carrying a mask of the boy's face in his briefcase.
Okay. Let's think about some things here.
The last two went a little off the edge,
Yeah.
especially the latter. That doesn't even seem helpful.
So what do you wear it and go to people and be like, do you know me? Do you see my little boy face? Does this look familiar to you? Wah!
You know what's even weirder? Even if he didn't open with that and he's like interrogating someone like, you seen this kid? No. All right, let me pull out one more thing. Clip. Now,
now have you seen him? And they're just like, no, could you please leave my
Can you
home?
please leave?
Bristow theorized that the boy died accidentally. His freshly cut hair and nails indicated that he was well taken care of. Perhaps the boy's family never came forward because they did not want to be charged with murder. Based off of a psychic's clue, Bristow looked into a foster family that lived nearby where the boy was found. The foster family had already been interviewed by the police. At this foster family's 1961 estate sale, Bristow found a bassinet that he believed could have previously been stowed in the box the boy was found in.
They don't know what the other bassinets looked like?
That's weird. Yeah, I guess nothing must have came of that because it's like it may have looked like it. Then again, keep in mind this is not an official investigation.
Yeah, I know. This is just a man with a passion.
A passion for justice.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Bristow then began to theorize that the boy was an illegitimate child of the daughter of the foster family and was perhaps abandoned by the daughter so she would not be revealed as a single mother. Bristow would eventually pass away in 1993, but shortly after, Philadelphia detective Tom Augustine took up the case where Bristow left off. On February 23, 1998, Detective Augustine went to the home of Arthur Nicoletti, the man who led the former foster care home. Nicoletti's wife, Anna Marie, was the woman Bristow theorized to be the mother of the boy in the box. In addition to being Nicoletti's wife, Anna Marie was also Nicoletti's stepdaughter.
So he married. Wait, hang on. What?
Your brain is imploding right now.
I need like a visual here. So his wife.
When a man loves a woman.
And
So,
all right. But it's his wife.
yeah, it's not incest technically because it's not.
Yeah. Anytime you have to say it's not incest technically, that's not great, Ryan.
True, but it isn't. It's not his blood.
Okay.
Anna Marie told Augustine that she did have a boy who passed away in bizarre fashion, with morgue records supporting her statement. His cause of death was electrocution from a nickel ride outside of a store, once again leading to a dead end.
That's pretty funny.
Do you think she was like, hey, here's a nickel, Timmy. I'm gonna go inside and get some groceries. I'll be right back. Or the more horrifying version of that, do you think she made him ride the ride and sat there and watched as he was apparently having too much fun and got really excited and was like, yeah! And then,
You think he screamed like R2-D2?
see, that's kind of horrifying when you think about that
Sure
one.
is.
But there was a moment where she was probably like, wow, he's really enjoying that ride.
Yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate deaths where obviously it's a tragedy, but boy oh boy, is that a laugh riot.
Another popular theory, and you're not gonna like this, but I have to say it, is ghosts. If you look at the video, it appears as if Elisa is talking to someone right outside the elevator, which has led some on the internet to believe that she's talking to the ghost of serial killer Richard Ramirez, who was convicted of 13 murders and stayed in the Cecil Hotel from 1984 to 1985. It's also worth noting that Ramirez was a known Satanist.
Absolutely not.
So you're saying you don't think there's even a little bit of a possibility that this place is a little haunted and it could drive people to do some crazy shit?
To me, it's basically like saying, so you don't believe there's a little possibility that the spaghetti monster did that? You know, like,
There's no recorded history of a spaghetti monster. I don't know where you're getting that.
show me the scientific journal in which they've posted all these ghost studies.
There is footage of things moving on their own.
Footage is not science.
There's no one that's like, I'm gonna be a ghost scientist.
Why not?
Because that's
There's
a weird
footage.
Just think of that title on a business card. That's weird. I'm a ghost scientist.